Today's video is going to be about risk and kind of just throwing yourself at it and going for it. Today's off my pool split, so pull-ups. As always, warm up first, jumping jacks, or your neck around, arm swings back and forth, legs, stretch your wrist on the ground, back, forth, front, sides, around, upside down, and yeah. Alright, so for pull day, always start with dead hangs. So, grab on the bar, relax your spine. You can either relax your feet backwards, forwards, whichever way is most comfortable for you. Just fully relax and let your scapula contract as well as your spine. Hold from anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. And then from there, come off bar, give yourself a second, and go into an active hang, which is where your scapula are decompressed and you are actively holding yourself, as opposed to this, you're here. Alright, today's video is about two topics, which is taking risk and knowing what you want in the moment, because you never want to look into your future for what you want, because your future is not yet formed. You have to take the current moment that you are in and create that into your future, and you can't look into the past for what you want, because you'll end up using the same structure for what you wanted at the time in the past. So if in the time you wanted, in the past time you wanted, to have a girlfriend, and you ended up getting a girlfriend, didn't work out, and you're like, all right, well now I want a girlfriend, but you use the same structure, you're gonna end up with the same result. Which you might have a girlfriend, but it's not gonna end up better than it did the last one, because you use the same structure for the future relationship as you did the past. That's also not to say don't think about the future or the past, but just do not ponder upon them. Don't let the thoughts fester and sit in your mind. Otherwise, it goes from learning a lesson to adding more negativity than it being a positive thing for you. Instead of learning a lesson from it, you more or less turn it into negativity and more fuel for negative things in your mind. Which, going on to the risk part of it, risk doesn't necessarily mean risking, you've only got 10,000 and you throw it all into business, because you still have to be realistic, but not in the sense of, oh, I have to hoard money, or I have to hoard this, I have to hoard my own energy, I can't give it to nobody else, because there will always be something in life that you're gonna have to put energy into, money into, time. Those are really your three currencies, which is time, knowledge, and money. So you'll always have to put something into a project or something you're trying to do. There will always be something that you have to put in there, which means if you have a dream you want to chase after, just do it. Just risk it all, because it would be much better to risk it for it than the risk of not doing it is worse than the risk of failing. Obviously, with money, it's the same input. You still have to have the same input, but you've got to be a little more thoughtful about it, because you can put yourself in a rut. But just make sure that when you take a risk, that you're doing it wisely and not just because, oh, this person said that, oh, I said this, and also don't let it restrain you from doing it. There's got to be a certain kind of openness to it. So if you're like, oh, I'm not gonna do it because I'm scared, just do it. It'll be much better than you not doing it. Even me doing these videos right now, I really was like, no, you're not gonna do it. But I convinced myself to film the video I did yesterday, and I'm completely over the fear of doing it and over the regret of not doing it, because I've always wanted to make videos, but I never did. Which goes to show that these videos are a start of something. This is me risking it. I've also wanted to start a business, and I've went off and on with that for the past year. I'm 15 going 16, turning 16 in like 2 weeks, a week and 6 days from the start of this video, or from the upload of this video. And I've always been off and on, but I have to risk it for it, because otherwise I'm not going to get anywhere with it. And I haven't been risking it. I'll start it up, I'll start doing whatever, start reaching out to companies, and then I get one no, or I feel like I'm doing bad, or I'm not doing it right, and I stop, and I lose all the work that I've gained up to that point. Last one. And with life, there'll always be a back and forth. Fortunately, there's no balance. There's no definite balance, because life is always a yin and yang. Going back to my last video, there's always dark and light, and there's always light and dark. So if you do start a business, start streaming, start YouTubing, start selling things to your friends, or selling stuff at school, whatever it is, nothing illegal, but selling gum, whatever it is, you've got to know that there's always gonna be a positive and negative to it. You just always have to focus on the positive, which is, sorry, I got the burps, from doing your own business. You got to know that there's going to be ups and downs, but you have to really focus on the ups, because if you think about it, if you take a risk, there's a word that I like. It's called a juxtaposed, which is the opposite of something. So if you take a risk, the opposite of not taking a risk is not doing it. It's like, of taking a risk, the opposite of not taking a risk is not doing it and regretting it, because you're like, well, I had the chance to do it, but I didn't take action. I didn't take the opportunity to do it and to really put my energy and myself into it. And now 3 years down the line, I'm sitting here at a 9-to-5, working my butt off day to day, doing nothing with my life. And I feel like if I would have put that effort into 3 years ago into that business I wanted to start, into that Instagram account I wanted to start, the YouTube, the streaming, whatever it is, I'm not going to tell you. A lot of people are going to say that, gaming is not the best thing to start because this or that. No. If you're a good gamer, you're comfortable being on camera, or not even being on camera, but you're comfortable speaking to a camera, talking while you're playing games, and you feel like you want to stream and record, go for it. Nobody's going to stop you. The only thing that's going to stop you is you. That's what life is. Life is a constant battle between you versus, I don't want to necessarily say society, but society. And obviously there's people that are with you, you versus yourself, But then there's friends who help you go against society, which it's also for them, it's them versus themselves and them versus society, and you're there to help them as well. Turn around and do these ones. Go wide grip. But yeah, just being consistent, which is, my last video says, you know, both consistency is discipline, but discipline also creates motivation, and then motivation helps you provide. So if you do start, and hey, this goes for me, I tried to start my own company, didn't, well, did and didn't, told a lot of people I did, put a lot of, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I wasn't disciplined enough at the time, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. I wasn't as, I don't want to say hard, because you need to both show gratification for yourself and show discipline, because they're both forms of self-love. And self-love is one of the most important things you can have as a human being, is to be able to love yourself while not being overly, I believe the word's complacent with yourself. So being fine with everything you do, because everything you do is not positive. And not being overly hard on yourself to where you show yourself no gratification for where you have come, or from where you've come from. I really gotta figure out how to target my back on these. What do I do? Close grip. Nope, still didn't get them. Still didn't target my back as much as I wanted to. Yeah, so if you have something you want to start, even like my best friend, I talked about in the last video. I supplied him equipment for a business that we had talked about for him doing, which is lawn mowing, because he's younger, so it's a little harder for him to make money compared to me. I'm turning 16. I'll have a vehicle here soon, which means I'm able to drive and go to work, or go and do this and go and do that. So for him, it was lawn mowing. I told him, I was like, look, I'm making a commitment to you, because I didn't tell him this, but he's gonna watch the video. I wanted to thank you, Austin, because I felt very inspired by your reaction to the energy that I put into that conversation we had. Because I told him, I was like, look, if I supply this equipment for you, $200 to me isn't about, it's not a lot, but it's also not a lot for someone my age. But to me, it was more so less the commitment behind it. It's like, look, I'm gonna buy this equipment for you, but I need to make sure that you commit to actually going out there and mowing lawns and getting out there and working. And within the first week of him having the equipment, he made like $364 or $324, which was more than my paycheck for the week. So it really inspired me, and like I said, I wanted to say thanks for that, Austin, because it inspired me to both start this and to get back on my grind for my business, because me being a business owner is something I really want to do, which I might switch the specific business model I wanted to go with, or I might not. I don't know. I'll have to see. And that comes with the other factor of risk. Risking it to do it doesn't mean to think about it and ponder about it and write about it, tell people about it. Risking it to do it is getting out there and doing it. Even if you feel as though you're confused or you don't feel like you want to, you get out there and you're like, all right, well, look, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. That's the actual risk behind it. That's the risk of it. Which once you do it and you get out there, it'll feel amazing. You'll be like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm so thankful that I risked it to do this or to do that. Start social media, anything. You know what I mean? For me, it's personally business. I had social setup and had already been working on that. For me, it's been business, and that's what I want to do. Like, I plan on finishing high school here soon. I'm homeschooled, so I'll be done with 12th grade, senior year. This coming December of this year, I'll be out of school, and I have already said, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this business, but I haven't fully risked myself and committed myself to it. And now it's put me in this kind of situation where, like, yeah, I do plan on finishing high school by then, but what am I gonna do after then? You know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything to fall back on or to look towards. And this is what goes back to the future part of it, is that you don't necessarily have to not think about the future, because it's always, like I said, it's always good to think about the past and the future. Just don't ponder upon it and let it affect you in a negative way, because it creates more negativity. Let me do my next set really quick. What's that? Dang it. Oh yeah, thinking about the future and the past. Like, I'm worried about my current present and what I'm doing day to day, thinking that each day is a new day. But I'm still thoughtful about both my past mistakes and what I plan for my future. And that goes back to knowing what you want to do. I know that I want to be a business owner. I know that I want to have time, locational, and money freedom. Like, I want to be able to be like, all right, look, today I have an extra $100,000 to go spend on something. I want to go spend it. You know what I mean? I want to be like, all right, well, look, I've done all the work I need to do here. Let me go take a trip to Japan for 3 weeks. Go rent out a nice apartment over there and stay over there for a while my business is running itself. I already have my plan, but I haven't committed myself to it, which is where you really shoot yourself in the foot. And that's about it that I have to cover on this topic today. Thank you guys for watching. You know, like I said before, it's been a while since I've said this. Hit the like, the sub, turn on notifications, comment, whatever. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna go finish this workout and stretch, do a cold shower. And thank you guys. Yo, thank you guys for watching. Gonna finish up the workout and get to stretching. Thank you guys. Ciao. Like always, the man who believes the journey over is truly lost and is worse than the man who knows to continue fighting.